Uh,
Just got Cyber there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Zero Strategy Podcast, episode 22. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you for being here if you're watching live, and if you're listening on any of the podcast platforms. Thank you. I'm joined today by my co-hosts, Cyber Project.
hello.
We have Just Grog.
Hey.
We have Sir Humps.
Hey.
And we have the Mighty Kibbles.
Hey.
Hey, my name is Condi, and yeah, we got lots to talk about today. As always, I just want to let you know, if you are watching live in the stream, and you have any questions for us, that can be maybe even just your thoughts on a topic that we're going through that you want us to discuss, or you do have any questions related to like YouTube or Twitch or anything like that, please feel free to ask away, and make sure to at one of us or at the podcast in chat so we can see you. And if we don't get to you straight away, feel free to re-ask the question, because sometimes, once we're talking, we might not get to it immediately. But as always, we start with a little catch up with everyone to see what we've been up to. So first of all, Cyber, what have you been up to the last couple of weeks since you were on?
I booked flights to Spain and then realized that I might not be able to go because this fucking pandemic seems to fuck me over every single time. I'm not mad about it, as you can tell.
I feel you, brother. I had a Vegas and Cancun trip canceled.
It sucks. Like, we're kind of going through the motions of, do we still go? Do we not? And it's just like, oh, it's a whole world of hate right now. Self-loathing. But I went to a place called Oban yesterday, got some good whiskey. So we're just going to drown my sorrows after the podcast.
Sounds good. What about stream-wise?
I've been playing Tarkov quite a lot. Kind of getting it. I get like one-banged more often than you can ever imagine, and it's driving me.
I saw your stream the other day. Opened up, I was like, "Oh, he's playing Tarkov," and you were like talking to someone, and then just like, bam, you were dead. And you were confused. You're like, I don't know what happened.
Nope. Apparently, it was like the AI is are called scavs. Apparently, it was a scav on the opposite side of the map that just headshot me, and I was like, how do I get better? Like, how?
Just the scavs start like teabagging you.
Yeah, it's just
don't get killed by inbots.
Insane. And I was this close to like rage quitting, and I've never rage quit a stream in my life, but I was so
I could tell.
Close. I closed the screen down. I went on to like the BRB screen and just walked, walked to the kitchen and came back, and I was like, okay, I'm good.
Good. I'm glad you're joining though. It's been interesting for me because I don't obviously really know Tarkov, so watching it just makes me want to play it even less. But I'm enjoying watching you play.
It's so realistic, and it's like the tiniest little thing can get you killed.
Yeah.
And I refuse not to be good at it, so I'm just gonna put myself through this punishment and get good at it. It's insane.
Fair enough. Humps, what have you been up to?
Nothing, man. Absolutely nothing. So I was on. I haven't streamed. I barely gamed. I was on night shift 2 weeks ago, so didn't stream. Barely played. And then my wife thinks like, oh, I have a job. I can go do stuff. So she left me for 5 days, left me with the kids. So I've had to watch those little shits for the past 5 days by myself. Side note, so this morning, 6:30 o'clock in the morning, I wake up because I hear the TV blaring because my 3-year-old, he gets out of his crib super easy. I don't know why we even have a crib anymore. That's a different story. Issue. Hush! I'll put you in the cage again. That's a TikTok reference. Follow me on TikTok, Sir Humps. Anyway.
If there's anybody from social services watching, he's joking.
Not about the TikTok. Hold me.
Follow him.
I come downstairs 6:30 o'clock this morning. TV blaring. He's sitting. I see him just run out of the living room. Run out of it. I was like, what does this little shit do? I go in there. He went in the refrigerator and we have like these little mini tubs of goat cheese because my daughter really likes goat cheese. He took that out there. Every fucking where, dumped it out all over the couch, the floor. It smeared all over his face. I was just like, oh, God. Get out. Walk away, young sir. walk away. I spent the next hour and a half wiping up because you can't really like vacuum all of it up. It's like cheese, you know what I mean? It's like
It's not even hard cheese either. It's that kind of weird,
yeah, it's
gloopy
mushy
kind
and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, that was. Anyway, I
So
may
it's
be
going well.
muting myself periodically during this podcast, leaving and going, telling them to respectfully be quiet. My wife still is not home, but I have not gamed. I have not streamed. I have not been in the podcast for almost 3 weeks now. So I wanted to be here with everybody because I missed you.
Well,
So
we
we've
appreciate
we've
it.
we've talked about sponsorships in previous podcasts. I'm gonna like phone Durex and be like, this man is gonna be the perfect person.
August 12th, that's getting remedied, my friend.
Yes.
Snaps.
He has an
Again,
appointment.
follow me on TikTok.
Okay, well,
God damn.
there we go. That's the one to beat. Kibbles, what have you been up to?
Warzone.
What a surprise.
Just Warzone again. And I played Soma for the first time, and it was pretty cool.
It was really
I
fun to
streamed
watch
a
you
lot.
play it.
Yeah.
Did you shoot yourself underwater?
No,
No?
no, not yet.
See, it's the types of games like that like Tarkov gives me anxiety, but I feel like if I played that, it's a whole different kind of anxiety. This is like
Yeah.
my hand's gonna be like this playing the game. Like
Every
I'm
time
gonna
I'd have
die.
like some false sense of security. Wait, did I talk about it last time? Did I talk about
No, I
murdering
don't think
robots?
so.
Yeah.
Maybe briefly.
Yeah.
Briefly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, well, I'm a monster apparently, so No.
We knew
It's all
that.
good.
I mean,
we're quick to say that.
I mean, I've seen
But
you
I also
murdering the
got-
robots, so
Whatever. I mean, could they really feel at that point?
true.
They were sobbing a lot, so maybe. And I got an editor for the channel.
Nice.
Oh,
So-
hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you said you had a really good experience with him too, right?
Yeah. He's been killing it. And
Nice.
Got going to be a weekly thing now.
Very good. Awesome. All right, Grog, what you been up to?
It's
I
been a
just
big week.
briefly, I watched you play some bizarre game yesterday with sheep,
Oh yeah.
and I have no idea what I was looking at, but it looked like a blast.
So Lauren and I, so this week was the second week in a row that we did our Saturday Indie Arcade co-stream. So Saturdays we had kind of been doing like this every other week, sometimes like once a month, just more around her schedule than anything else. And then we talked recently about how like she wants to make it a regular thing. She's been having a lot of fun doing it. So we
Hell yeah.
there's does anybody know itch.io? It's like it's almost like a launchpad like Steam of sorts, but for indie developers. So they have their own like app, which is kind of functions like Steam. And effectively you can go on there and look for both games as well as like print to play games. So it's not all just video games, it's also like RPGs and stuff. And then on top of that, some of them have like creative bundles. Like there was one guy who had a thing called mini loops, and they were 5-second loops that were like fucking bangers. And basically, like if you buy it, you get a license where basically you can use those mini loops in your game or in whatever. And some of them like also have like gaming assets. So you want to build like an old school like RPG Zelda like dungeon, like people will have like tile sets that you can use to build that kind of thing. So it's really cool. So we were playing this game Ali and Bali, and it was a sandbox game. It kind of looked like Ooblets, like just really cute and weird. But the animations were a little wonky, and we were shearing sheep and trying to build a shed badly. It was a lot of like physics-based puzzles. It was very fun.
Yeah, it looked fun.
And then so there was that, and that was great. And then this week was my last week of work at the library. So for those who don't know, it's a celebration because I've worked for about 9 years as a librarian in the public sector. I worked at a library system outside the city, and then I worked in the city for like the last 6 years. And it's just like
sector librarians.
yeah, like for medical libraries, law libraries, that kind of thing. So here's the thing: is that if anyone wants to, just Google Philadelphia Free Library right now, and you'll kind of see the shit show that's unfolding.
I was
My
gonna say you'll see a job opening.
There was our director, our union filed a vote of no confidence against like the president of the library system. She was asked to step down from this vote of no confidence. She ended up resigning the same day that I left, unrelated. And then a bunch of board members like resigned in solidarity with her, but she's a super shitty person who basically was like not taking care of discrimination within the workplace, especially on a racial level. So it's like it's been a tumultuous shit show at my job for like a couple years now, and I wanted to leave. And Lauren and I have been talking for the last year about how we could make that possible. And today is my first day of going full time streaming.
Hey.
So I will be
Groggers in
doing
chat.
this at least for the near future. Yeah, we talked about it more seriously in the last 6 months, and then what that would look like. And really, I've been talking to a lot of you guys about what I need to kind of do behind the scenes to knuckle down and work on my edits. And I started trying to reinvest into the channel a little more seriously. I commissioned Itzy Dolly Boy, who we had on as a guest, I don't know, like 10 episodes ago or something like that. And he banged out like an awesome stinger transition for me,
It's really cool.
which was so good. Like I was so happy. And yeah, I'm looking to continue to try and improve the channel as best I can. I'm going to be sticking to a 5-day stream schedule. Saturdays will be the 5th day. There'll be the light day with Lauren, and we'll do like 1 or 2 hours. But yeah, I couldn't be more excited. I would say that like the last couple of years, I started going to therapy, and I am diagnosed with like major depressive disorder, and this is like the best thing that has happened to me in my life. Like making connections with you guys and making connections with the community and being able to really like deep dive into something I'm passionate about has been like incredible. And really, I this whole pandemic thing, I was like a blessing in disguise, at least for me. It's a horrible set of circumstances to be thankful for, but it allowed me to like be quarantined. I mean, I basically had to stay at home. They paid me to stay at home for like 3 months. So in that time, I just used that as a test platform to see like what would it look like if I streamed full time, and I did. I set up a schedule for myself. I stuck to that schedule. I think I only missed like 1 or 2 streams in like 3 or 4 months, and the response was so positive. It gave me the confidence to really just take a leap of faith, which is it's scary as fuck, but especially like when you're a homeowner and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, so I'm really happy. And then today is going to be my first like stream as a full-time streamer, so I'm very happy.
It's awesome. Yeah, dude, very exciting, very, very exciting stuff.
You're living like all of our dreams right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, the thing is, like, there's still a lot that I need to kind of dial in, and a lot that I can still learn from all of you guys, and things that I need to work on. I've basically in the last like 6 months, things have been so hectic trying to plan for this as like a dream possibility, and then actually in the last couple months, like, how do we actually make this work? And so like I've neglected my YouTube channel, like, but I started up my Instagram for the channel. So I'm posting like offline stuff that is related to Twitch. I'm trying to just like, the groundwork is there, but I need to start filling out some things. So like I feel like the stream is on lock, and I'm really happy with where that's going, but I need to like get my video edits done and all that stuff. So it's scary, but it's good.
Well, we can throw a lot of the podcast work at you now, which is nice. I don't feel like really editing the audio version anymore, so but no, for real, like that's awesome. And yeah, like you say, take it as an opportunity to build out these other sort of branches with the YouTube and stuff. Yeah, it's exciting. Yes, and chat seemed very excited about it as well, so that's really good to see. So we have a couple topics that I kind of want to go over tonight. Tonight, that's weird. It's not really evening for anybody right now, but Grog, you had a topic hit us with it, and we will discuss.
Yeah, it's like kind of a larger topic that has like subtopics in it. I wanted to talk today, like, I guess if each of us could kind of like break down um, some of the stuff that goes into our channels that isn't on the channel, like or isn't live rather. So when you tune into someone's stream, there's a lot that has happened leading up to or prior in the days or weeks before the you hit the go button and you're suddenly live. I'm curious as like things about you know spending time with your significant others, like how do you block out time for like your pets, or in this case your kids, or in this case your pets as kids.
Yeah.
Like eating. Oh my god, I'm a little worried to learn more about our collective eating habits during and before and after streaming. But yeah, just things like that, like in respect to, I don't know. Well, what about food? I mean, since I kind of left that at the end there.
Yeah,
Like,
food seems like a good
does-
good place to start.
Yeah. I mean, does anybody like plan a meal around their stream in terms of like, this is the meal I'm planning to have before, after, or even like, do you go so far as to plan something during? Like, I got this set aside.
Depends on the length of the stream.
Okay.
So a normal work day for me, I don't eat before I go to work. I was talking about this on stream this morning. It's really unhealthy. It's super unhealthy. Like I wake up at 7 a.m. I go into work for about 8 a.m. Don't have breakfast. And then I work my full shift to about 3 o'clock maybe. Drive home, get home at around 4. Then I'll have a shower. Then I have something to eat, the first meal of the day. And then I stream. And then as soon as I finish stream, I eat again because I'm always starving. But that's because chat's always talking about food, right?
No,
Or-
that's actually good. It's called
It is.
intermittent fasting, bro.
Is,
Read a
is
book.
that good?
Yeah,
It feels like
8-hour
it's
window
probably
a day.
not.
It is good.
Only eating during like a 8-hour window. Yeah,
Is
that's
it good
actually
if
good.
I eat like 3 meals worth though in one meal?
Well, as long as you're eating the right amount of calories, yes.
Oh, there's no
But if
way.
you're
Then
eating,
only
like-
There's
in a
no way.
designated time. Yeah.
It's way too many calories. An entire
I
birthday cake to
learned-
myself.
I learned during the Olympics when Michael Phelps, the American swimmer, was like all in the news, that like you're supposed to eat 8,000 calories a day, and I've just been really trying to follow his role. I heard carbo loading is good for you, so I carbo load every day. I don't work out or exercise, but I know the athletes do it, and I'm sure it must be good for you.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That
How do you think they
Sounds
get so ripped?
They just eat potatoes.
Tons of chicken nuggets. Just all that's it. Just buckets of it. Yeah, I mean, literally it is always the very first thing I do when I'm done streaming. Like even after the podcast, every Sunday, I go eat straight away. Like I don't know, streaming, sitting in this chair makes me hungry. I don't know what it is. But I will rarely eat on stream. Sometimes if the wife is at home and I like can smell her making food downstairs, I'll shoot her a little message and be like, bring me up some food for stream. And then she kind of shouts and gets upset at me, but then she brings
I
me
love
food.
when she goes into your chat and says, "Condi, I'm not bringing you your
Yep.
fucking mac and cheese."
Yeah, she likes to hold that over me. But for the most part, I don't eat on stream. Although I don't think there's anything wrong with eating on stream, especially if you're doing a long stream. I have no issue with it. If I'm watching a streamer and they have a quick bite to eat, like I don't care. You know, I'd rather that than be sitting there starving. But yeah, what about you guys? I don't know.
Well,
I mean, go ahead, Billy.
during the pandemic, it's a lot easier. Like I work in an office, so I used to finish at 5, come home. It used to take me roughly around about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I would stream at 6. So I had between 40 and 30 minutes to say hi to my wife, actually make food, and then instantly hop on stream. It's incredible, like how stressful that is. Like you want to drive at 100 miles an hour because you know that you're gonna miss stream. You want to eat the food really quickly, and then you've still got to like actually spend time with your wife before the stream. I don't think people
Do you?
understand. Well, yeah, because I love my wife. I simp for my wife. I'm allowed to. But like ever since quarantine, it's been so much easier because you can actually just like if I'm working here, I can just get up and physically go and make a meal that'll take 2 hours to prep or whatever. It's so much easier. Like, this has been a blessing in disguise for me, because I like fancy food is the wrong word, but I like to actually like cook a steak, cook vegetables with a whole bunch of seasoning on them, and like 30 minutes wasn't enough, so you ended up resorting to just shit, just crap fast food or whatever. But now this quarantine has been absolutely great for me. We have steak almost twice a week, and it's well cooked.
Weird flex.
I
Okay.
love it.
What do you mean well cooked?
Well, not well cooked.
Okay, all right.
Cooked well.
I like
well.
I like my steak medium rare. Okay.
No, that's
Alright.
the correct
All
answer.
right, good.
Exactly. So it's cooked well to medium rare. Is that okay for you?
No, yeah, I just said that's the right answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
sorry, go ahead, Grog.
I was just gonna say, like, for me, what I think a lot of my habits now are based around like growing up. So like in my house, and this drives my wife nuts because when we don't visit my family often, but when we do, there's a lot of like discussion at peak moments of the day about like what we'll do about lunch or dinner, and then that hour arrives and then no one has done anything to make any move or motion towards acting on it.
Yeah.
So then like the hour passes and then it's like, wait, I thought we were having dinner at 6. It's like 7:30, what's happening? And then like, what are we doing? That was like always kind of the normal. My dad was a bartender and he worked crazy hours, and then my mom like just worked at a hospital and had crazy hours. And like there was a lot of fend for yourself at home. And so I basically growing up from between the ages of like 8 and until I left at like 17, like it was basically every night was just fend for yourself night. So TV dinners were
Dude,
like a
we
really
had that all the time. Fend for yourself nights. Mom, what's for dinner? Fend for yourself night.
yeah.
Just
Yeah,
take
yeah.
humps
the
out into the
whole-
forest and leave them there. Fend for yourself.
That whole fend for yourself thing got goat cheese all over the place. So are you happy now?
No, he's not.
No, he's not happy.
Yeah. I mean, as Shadow said, like I was a latchkey kid. I mean, basically, it's like I grew up in a small town. We didn't always have to lock the front door. It was like I would come home from school. I would just like go through the cupboards and like just grab whatever. So often, watching like DuckTales and eating potato chips was like a solid pre-dinner meal
Hell yeah.
that made a lot of sense. But then like, and then after that it was like I had to jokingly yell at my wife the other night 'cause she was talking shit on our aging microwave, and I said, don't you talk badly about my caregiver. And she was like, wait, what? And I was like, that's my I need this to live, like don't you take this from me. Yeah, the microwave was really important. So now like as an adult, like I have this weird ass schedule. Like I just eat when I remember to eat, and I also eat when I'm kind of feeling hungry, but what will satisfy me can be almost nothing. So like now when I stream, like I've been really good about
Come on
breakfast.
over
I
here,
wake up.
Grog. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Can we clip that out of context, please?
Can't be satisfied.
We will see about that, sir.
I will wake up and I have a solid breakfast now every morning. To wit, everyone
Cereal?
here cereal. Yeah, I have cereal every morning. It's the easiest and quickest thing to make.
Yeah.
So I have
Grape
cereal
nuts,
every morning.
I imagine, right? Grape nuts.
No, usually Cheerios.
It's good. Oh, okay.
Is it whole grain Cheerios or just the?
No, so usually the honey nut Cheerios or just the plain. The whole grain surprisingly has more sugar than the regular Cheerios.
That's why I
in
was
them.
asking.
Yeah, it's very weird, very bizarre.
How
But
bizarre.
yeah, like I have a routine. I take care of the dogs in the morning, so that way I have the rest of the day to kind of like worry about the stream, and Lauren does them like in the evening. But like for me, it's just kind of like I would forget to eat. Like I've always been a gamer where I could sit and play for 1 hour to 6 hours, and I don't. It just like it shuts off the part of my brain that like thinks about food. So like I'll get thirsty, and I always have like water or like seltzer or like gamer subs or something nearby. But I honestly could probably go almost the entire day if I was gaming and never eat. I actually lost weight over the course of like the first 3 months of the quarantine because I was like sticking to this regular streaming schedule, and I was eating kind of wholesome foods. Like if I needed a snack midstream, I'd go grab some almonds, and like so I just like eat some almonds, and you know, I'm not like drinking anything with sugar in it. So I was like actually lost weight gaming, which just feels weird. But
That's
also
crazy.
like I wasn't eating solid meals. You know what I mean? Like so really the only substantial like wholesome meals that I was getting was like Lauren would make lunch for herself and then there'd be some extra, so she'd like bring me lunch. And then like eating on stream, I have like a little privacy overlay that I put up that just like covers the webcam. So that way I just if I'm snacking on almonds, I don't really care, but I don't really feel like anyone wants to watch anyone eat on stream like an actual meal with a utensil and like a plate.
I get
That's
my
a whole
napkin,
section
Just
dedicated for
sloppily
that.
eat cereal.
I do that all the time. I mean,
point
Yeah,
my
there is-
webcam down,
There
and
is a
just
whole section
go
of
for it.
Twitch for that.
yeah.
Give the people what they want, okay?
Absolutely.
I'll watch it.
Do a little ASMR with it.
Yeah.
Turn up the gain and get real close.
I like to
Um,
just get loads of fast food and cry and just eat. on camera.
My everyday, brother. My everyday.
But just to kind of latch on to what Grog said, I don't understand whether this huge stigma is being where, like, if you eat on stream, you should be shunned. Like, you see people doing 12-hour streams, it's like, bitch, I need to eat. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, I think it's that thing that people get annoyed by the sound of other people chewing, right? Like, I can get that. I try not to eat directly into the microphone. Or, like,
Oh, yeah,
talk
I'll
about,
hit the mute button.
what's up, guys?
Yeah,
I'm
you
just,
should just go like,
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
duck down like this and take bites of
I
sandwiches.
zoom in and just like,
if somebody doesn't want to watch me eat pizza at like 1 a.m. in the morning
Then
while
why
I'm
the
trying,
fuck are they
yeah,
here?
get the
Yeah.
fuck out.
Yeah, no, I'm with
I-
you. Thing is, I get hangry. And particularly if I'm playing, like, Trials or Warzone, if I'm hungry, my gaming performance is going to go down. I'm going to get more frustrated and more angry.
you must be hungry a lot.
Yeah.
Almost said that, I can't believe it.
Genuinely, though, like, if I'm hungry, I play worse. And I get more irritated. And all those short jokes from chat start to... The cracks start to appear, all right, you know.
Dare you slander your chat?
If I'm on a full stomach and I'm feeling good, like, it's fine. It's all fine. When I start to get hungry, ooh, the rage starts to come out, you know? Hangry.
I've never seen you rage before once.
You don't watch
Never.
the stream enough.
I beg to
Usually-
differ.
I feel like usually it just translates to him shoving away from his desk and just wheeling away in the chair, and then just because the noise gate is set up, I just don't hear anything, but I just hear him go like, and he's just like flailing his arms, and he pounds his fists, and then he comes back. He's like, "All right, sorry, chat."
Yeah, I need to get
I had to
at
stretch
the
my
anger.
legs.
I scream into a pillow. That's what I have the screaming
Yeah.
pillow for. You know.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's why you have it.
But yeah, definitely like planning is huge. I can tell you the amount of times I've got home and there's nothing really quick to eat. Like, you know, like Cyber says, like, I've got the choice of cook a full meal or just go on stream and just be hungry. You know, it's not ideal. Not ideal at all.
I definitely lean into stuff that is easy to prep quickly. I mean, again, like that's just second nature for me. So like if I can microwave it, I'm sorted. I will say the one thing I kind of like need on a regular is if I don't hydrate, if I don't if for whatever reason like I go for like a long session and like maybe I had like my cup of something next to me and I finish that and then like I forget to refill it or I don't get up for a while, like I do notice that sometimes I just get a little my like reflexes get a little off or I get a little slow as my blood sugar kind of dips down if I don't have at least some little snack or at least you know, something like Gamer Subs that has some caffeine in it. I'll notice immediately that when I do take a break to eat, so like maybe we're like queuing up for a game and I'm in menus, I'll be like, all right, I'll be right back. I run downstairs and grab a granola bar, or I go downstairs and like, you know, grab a piece of fruit. Like once I eat, probably within like 15-20 minutes after like that and like a glass of water or some seltzer or something, I actually feel like I'm starting my brain is starting to switch on, like I'm starting to hit shots better. Like it's interesting the correlation because like you just you don't realize in the moment that you need fuel, to kind of keep going. And at least for me, I just get in the zone, and I'm having fun with friends, and I'm laughing, and I'm like focused on the context of the game, but yet at the same time I'm like kind of doing myself a disservice because I'm just not keeping myself fueled up. And then sometimes I start playing bad, and then I feel bad that I'm playing bad, but then it's like, bro, just fucking go eat something. So yeah, having like, I have a little rotating pantry of snacks that I'll keep in like a little tiny like mug nearby. And then otherwise, Lauren, like really for the wholesome meals, like Lauren remembers to do those, and otherwise I'm just like eating scraps. Like I'm just like taking leftovers and putting it in a tortilla, whether or not it actually belongs in a tortilla, or like
Well, everything belongs in a tortilla.
Yep.
I mean, everything can become burrito if you just wrap it.
Everything's a
I
sandwich if
like
you
that
try hard
logic.
enough. Yeah.
Exactly.
We've been over the cube rule. I'm not going to bring it up again.
Don't even get me fucking
Ugh.
started on that bullshit.
Yeah.
See, pizza,
Yeah.
pizza is toast. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
No.
so Vol brings up in chat there. He says, besides food, there's also the going live notification text. It's interesting actually. What other sort of things do you guys prep before you go live? Like, what's the other sort of steps to going live? But because obviously we don't just immediately computer on, start stream, and then do it. What other things do you guys do before actually hitting that button?
I usually, for me, I have to get my beard in line because it's part of my brand. So
Beard online.
like
kids
my
online,
part of my
kids in
brand is like a
cage.
solid, fantastic looking beard. Condi's brand is a shite beard, and it's just how it is. Like, so
like how you
Condi
went
just
Scottish
wakes
with
up.
that.
He usually probably throws mud in it, just kind of like does some
It's a-
weird things just to make it as messy as possible, and then hits the go live button. Me, like, I have to take care of it, oil it up, get some
The
balm in there, get some
disrespect,
blow
bro.
dryer, straighten that shit out. I'm talking about it. Maybe
Yeah,
even
they,
get some
they, you
beard.
get
If
the
I'm feeling
dye to
froggy,
try and get rid of the
if I'm feeling,
grays.
hey, whatever. Hey, gray's sexy. Gray's sexy. If I'm feeling froggy, I'll get some beard wax to really hone in that shape. You know what I'm talking about? Going live tweet. Actually, because I think we talked about it like several podcasts ago or whatever. Like you don't just want, hey, I'm going live, here's my link. You want like some sort of image or GIF, video, something along with it, because it catches your eye more and makes people want to click on it.
It
And so
also helps the algorithm actually
Yeah.
promote you tweet
Yeah.
as well.
So I try to at least have a picture or something that and I'll reuse some, but I'll come up with some ideas, and if they are easy enough to where I'll be like, yeah, I have that amount of energy to put into it, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll be like, I haven't used this in a couple weeks. I'll just do that one again.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think I mentioned as well that I've not been really doing the going live tweets as much. And I still almost feel like it's not making much of a difference to me, but
I don't think they do.
yeah,
I did a small test with you because we talked about it maybe like 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks. Yeah.
I have been doing, so I stream 3 times a week. I do it once a week, and I usually use the picture of the ferret, and then I'll leave it like that. There is, from my data alone anyway, there's no increase of like people coming to the stream,
Yeah.
like whether or not I actually post that link. I think if it depends where you post it, but I don't think Twitter's the right place. Or if it is, you need to delete it afterwards, because then it hurts like your actual content moving forward. If somebody
Yeah, because
clicks
if they
on
look
your
at your
stream,
file, your profile, or whatever, and it's like, oh, it's just a shit ton of going live tweets.
but like, see, it's really awkward for me because this ugly mug gets fucking no love, but he gets like 40 likes on some of his fucking posts, and I'm like, do I delete it? This is like the best content I've got. No one tunes in for the gameplay. All my face, they just come for the ferret, and I'm like, I'll leave that one up.
You're a
there."
bit like Paris Hilton with the Chihuahua.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like I love him, but fuck you for being so famous.
I always am now just on the, if I post a going live tweet, I generally delete it. afterwards. If I do, I'll maybe do it once or twice a week, only if I have actually interesting content to go along with that going live tweet. If I don't have content to go with it, I'm just not going to bother. I did do one because Dale joined me on stream. My wife came on and played some Warzone with us. And I was like, oh, we'll do like the selfie. Like, I never do a selfie, but I was like, we'll take a picture together and post it. By far the most liked going live tweet I think I've ever had. Just because she was in the picture. I'm like, okay, clearly she needs to come back on stream more often. But, you know,
Oh yeah.
that was like, okay, here's a
100%.
good reason, because if I just tweet,
I learned
like,
my
hey,
lesson, Condi. I just decided to set aside a day that Lauren is
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
Because clearly she is has her own audience of fans.
The thing is, I was trying to get Dale to end the stream, and she just kept wanting to play more games. She was like, "No, let me do one more." I'm like, "Okay, it's your stream now. You do what you want." But yeah, like that was an example of a time where I thought,
right?
yeah, exactly. I'll let you keep playing on the computer.
She's like, I'm playing one more game. Go make me some mac and cheese, bitch.
But yeah, that was an example of a time where I thought, you know, I could just tweet, "Hey, my wife's going to be on stream with us today," and probably not get any attention. But if someone sees a picture, they're probably more likely to go, "Oh, well, that looks like an interesting bit of a change up in the content," and you know, it
I
seemed
will
like
say
a good
the
opportunity.
one time I actually got somebody in that normally wouldn't probably have come in. The last going live tweet that I did with the video that I had, the Brit shared it, and then someone came in. He's like, "Yeah, my Brit shared it, and I thought the video was funny, so I decided to come by and see what's up." That was the only time I've ever had anyone come in there and be like, "Yeah, I saw your video or whatever." So, but I would say
These-
99.9% of the time, it's like people that already follow your channel. I mean, I don't know.
Mm.
They're gonna
But
get the
you-
notification. They'll check you out.
You've perfectly just set aside like an example of if you put in the effort to everything that you do, even something is like, as we call it, insignificant as a going live post. Look how your creativity actually helped you get a new viewer in.
Yeah.
So it's the effort versus like the engagement. And I don't want to make your head a little bit too big,
Go on.
even though you like your going live posts are hilarious, and
There you
it's
go.
some of the best content that you actually pump out because
Fuck yeah.
you don't expect it. Like you,
Yeah.
you're a funny guy,
don't.
but the one where you jumped off the motorcycle, just shotgunned a beer and went fucking live, and then disappeared, I was like, that's fucking hilarious. That's good.
Thanks, man. I love you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, again, it's a good example. I've been trying to keep my Twitter feed kind of cleaned up a little bit. So yeah, I think that's a good rule. If you've got the time and energy to make a really dope going live tweet every day, by all means do it. I would still say probably delete it after. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but my issue is more that, again, because the time management thing that we've talked about, you know, if I get home, I got to get a shower, I got to get changed. I do have to make the beard look good, despite what Hum says. And then, you know, I need to eat and I need to get on stream. And I sometimes I will sit down here, I'll get everything ready, and I think I have nothing to tweet. So I just don't do it, you know? And again, yes, I'm not noticing a big difference in my viewership. However, by not putting that tweet out there, I'm not going to potentially get somebody new that, like Hump
Yeah.
said, it's not going to happen. So I think I'm going to continue trying to just, when I've got something good to post, I'll post. Other than that, I'm not going to bother for the time being.
After you mentioned that a couple episodes ago, I too, like Cyber, tried to see what it would be like to just not post. Yeah, and I didn't really notice a difference.
Dude, I didn't
Um,
post this morning. I had a great stream. Like, it just,
Yep.
I think maybe intermittent posting, you know, definitely when you're starting out, will, especially if like it gets, say, maybe retweeted by a friend. I mean, it can't hurt, you
Yep.
know. Maybe you don't tweet every single one, but I think you should be doing it to a small degree. And then once you have like a small following, like I got a great response. Lauren and I just took a selfie for our co-stream yesterday, and it got a lot of likes, and a couple people came by the channel. So like that was really cool. I mean, I would say if you have an exceptional event that you're doing it around, maybe you're starting a new game, like if your channel is known for a particular genre, or it's known for a particular franchise, and then you deviate away from that, I think that would be a great time to like make a tweet that, you know, stands out to hype it, you know. So like if you you know, I like Ghost of Tsushima has been like a huge game that people have been into,
Yeah.
and I've had a lot of fun watching people stream it. But some of the people streaming it like aren't that kind of player, or like that's not their channel. Um, like I watched a guy the other day, and like he's an Apex player, but he really wanted to play this game, and he was having a lot of fun with it. Like that would make sense to hype it up because it's something different. And right now, because Lauren and I are just getting this thing every weekend sort of off the ground, I think for the next couple weeks, we'll definitely make a post every time that we go live for that, just because it's something different.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I was
stands
gonna
out.
say, especially if it's something different than what you'd normally be doing. Yeah, that's really
Exactly.
worthwhile.
I will say though that if like I think of Kibbles immediately when I think of someone who could do an interesting go live tweet for every single stream. Your go live tweets are just fucking bonkers.
Yes.
And they're basically just like bizarro mini vines in of themselves, and I love it. And honestly, like I say that not just because like you're part of our group and you're here, but like Jesus, like they're just some of them I can't even remember what you said. I just remember your physical like gesticulations, and you're like
Just a lot
holding
of
an
screaming,
and
Yeah.
like maybe you were holding a knife
a lot
and
of
like
violence.
and like throwing your phone, and
Your
like it
brand.
just yeah, it stands out. And I think that if you have the energy to do that, that kind of shit is fucking gold. Because I mean, it's not, for a while I was just doing let me find a funny or cool gif, let me include the link, and let me just do like a hey, I'm playing this today. But that's like pretty samey. Whereas like I felt like you were being ushered into a small corner of Kibbles' mind every time you saw a going live tweet, and it was fascinating and horrifying, and that really got me to want to like check it out on the regular. um but yeah, I mean, one of the things I do to shift away from like going live tweets is usually when I sit down, I just have a quick kind of like dashboard check of some things. Like so when I sit down, I have a two stream setup or two PC setup. So I turn on the gaming rig, I turn on the laptop, which is my streaming rig, and I check first if there's anything that I'm going to be using for the bulk of the stream. Is there a driver update? Like I just check if there's any graphics updates first. Obviously, I don't want to be leaving it to the last second if like Streamlabs decides, or in whatever people use, be it OBS or what have you. You don't want to necessarily wait until like, oh, I'm supposed to go live at noon. I'm gonna like fucking turn on my computers at 11:59, because like what if there is an update? What if the update requires to restart? What if the
Yeah.
update what if the update makes changes like to your defaults? I always try to leave 15 minutes beforehand just to kind of settle in. I get both computers up and running, check to see if there's any driver updates for like the streaming application or the graphics, and then beyond that, I've now been in the habit of always making sure if I know what game I'm going to play that day, I always check and see if the game has an update. Because there's been too many times where I'm like, I really want to play this game, and dear Lord help you if you're a console streamer and you stream you stream from a computer, but you cover PlayStation. Fuck, dude, that update is going to take you hours.
Yep.
So like
Warzone.
you're going to be in this position of like, you're doing your like, hey chat, how's it going? Oh, fuck, it's installing. Oh wait, there's not enough space. Let me delete some stuff. Like, you just want to be prepared and leaving yourself that buffer room to kind of settle in and get comfortable. I always do a mic check, make sure that my levels are good. Nothing
sure
should have
everything's-
That's
changed.
key for me is audio check, making
Yeah.
sure everything's
Oh,
routed
yeah.
right.
I mean, like, and especially if there's, some of us are using complicated setups where if you have something like, an external mixer like a Go XLR, or in my case, because I'm, or I think Humps, you do a dual stream setup, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. So like there needs to be things like passing audio off of the gaming rig to the streaming rig, and that's a whole other issue in of itself. And like some people are going to be doing it through a physical device like say Go XLR. I'm doing mine through NDI, so basically it's being passed over my network, but like it does mean that I have to check and toggle a few things before that gets good to go. And on a couple occasions when I was rushing, I go live and people are like, hey, I hear the game but I don't hear Discord. I'm just like, oh fuck, I forgot to toggle that thing. Like you just gotta build a rhythm and get into the habit of figuring out based on past failures, what were you fucking up midstream or at the beginning of the stream regularly, and then just work to try and build like a checklist around that. So like I'm always checking to make sure that these things are connected. I'm always making sure that these things are up to date. That's been huge for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mine is kind of similar. I noticed that so my OBS is horribly unoptimized. It's all a bit of a mess of just sources everywhere, and quite often those sources just don't like to work. So what I always will do is the first thing I'll boot up the PC, do a quick audio check, make sure everything's updated. While that's going on though, I run my full like 10-minute intro video in the background once through, because what happens is if I don't run that intro and I just go live and hit the button, it gets all out of sync and it gets super weird. Like it'll freeze sometimes for like 20 seconds and then it kind of fast forwards and catches up and it's awful. So I have to make sure I run that whole intro, like that whole 10 minutes before I go into the actual stream. Because again, I know that like there's things that might lag and there's things that might be strange. Some of my alerts need warmed up. Like it's very weird. I don't know why that is the way it is, but that's just one of the things I'm used to doing. Other than that, I make sure I've got some gamer subs ready. I make sure
Code Condyfly.
Yeah, I just try and make sure I have a plan, make sure people are around and you've got all your various applications open. You've got Discord, you've got anything else that you might be using. What other things could we think of that we maybe would be checking?
Well, also too, sometimes just making sure that you have a squad ready to go. If there's a particular game that you want to play that requires a fire team of a certain size, obviously you need to make like arrangements,
Ahead of time.
Some people have, their stable of friends as gamers is large enough that they can just like cold call, like say, hey, with no notice, do you want to go do this raid or do you want to go do this thing? And for some people that works. But for others, I mean, like, you might want to just have, if you have your own Discord for your channel, maybe have an LFG channel. I know that a number of us have that in our Discords. Sometimes if you don't have a plan, but you're just soliciting, you might do like, like what I've done, and I know Kibbles did on his channel, which was for a group of players, we just made a role in the Discord. So like there's at Warzone. So anyone who's like a regular Warzone player, I can just do at Warzone, and then anyone who might be interested just gets added, and I'm not bothering everyone else. But it's kind of like a, hey, I'm going to be doing this in a set amount of time. Like, who wants in? Other than that, sometimes you just want to do like a private game session, and you just want to like play with just one or two people, and you don't want any more or less than that. And obviously, you need to kind of like arrange that up front. But yeah, I mean, making arrangements for the games themselves, because you can't just leap into certain activities, that are multiplayer without, kind of being considerate of the needs of other people and giving them the heads up that they should have.
Yeah, 100%. So then I guess moving away from the pre-stream, because I mean I think that's most of it covered. The contrary to popular belief, I think it does take a long time to kind of get ready to go live. I wish I could just hit the button and just work it all out, but obviously there's a lot of prep work goes into it. What else? Because again, the topic is mostly like the things that we're going to be doing off stream, behind the scenes during the week. What other things do you sort of budget into your week time wise? What other things are you working on that isn't necessarily on camera and being seen while you're live?
I probably should have.
What's up, kid?
Yeah, Cyber's
Earlier
constantly
food
changing
thing.
everything. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's got new overlays every week.
It's one of those things I just can't stop tinkering with. Like, like when you invest time in something and then you could go, I could tweak that like ever so slightly. I'm not the person that can just be like, I'm done. Like I'm happy with this. I'm always like, I can make it better. Let's never okay. You can always make it better, and it's a blessing and a curse because it helps me discover new things that like me and Grog have spoken about, and like me and Dolly have spoken about, and it's like I didn't even know that you could do this, and you can do things on stream that are absolutely insane, like those little videos that pop up. Like if I didn't keep tinkering and keep researching, I would have never found that application that the viewers can actually interact with channel points to then make something physically happen on stream. It's crazy. So I think even though we spend a lot of time like on camera and on stream and actually physically streaming, for me personally, I just research. I research everything that's new on that day, whether it just be like news or like new applications, all that kind of stuff. It's for me, finding the next big thing helps me like be creative on stream. So that's what I do personally.
Do you plan? Do you feel like Cyber, you plan that stuff out, or is it more just as the creative itch hits you, you just roll, you chase it until you're exhausted or have no more time, and then you just kind of like as time permits, you keep exploring that, or do you like set aside time to do that research or
Yep.
to do those updates?
It might not come across, but I'm like incredibly structured, and I've got like a set period of time in the morning where I just like dedicate like 2 hours from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. just going through the internet and actually trying to discover new things. But
And you stay
that's
focused. Tell me your secret.
Game of Subs and Monster, 100%.
Caffeine.
Yep. But like, I feel if you are gonna take something like this seriously, streaming, I mean, if you don't structure your day, it could be incredibly fragmented. And unfortunately, being fragmented